Hi, welcome. My name is George, and today we will talk about singleton design pattern. You have probably heard about it before, but if you don't know what it is, let's start with the introduction. Keep in mind that you can find the entire article on my website called programmer.com, and you search for singleton design pattern. Let's see. Singleton is a creational design pattern that lets you create only one instance of an object. You may be wondering, why exactly do we need only one instance? There are things in your code that don't have to be duplicated multiple times. For example, you have a connection to a database. You probably don't want many instances that connect to the same database, unless you're doing this specifically. I have chosen a more simple example so we can understand better the concept. In our case, we have a family and they want to use the shovel. There is only one shovel. So to do that, they will have to ask for the shovel. If someone else is using it, then they can't have it until the other person finishes with it. This is really useful, but you have to know exactly when to use this design pattern. As we can see here, we have the shovel and the members of the family that want to use it. The diagram is pretty simple. We have a singleton object, which in our case is the shovel, and the clients, which are the members of the family that want to use the singleton object. A thing that is worth mentioning is the fact that you should have a static instance of that class in your singleton. For example, here you should have a singleton instance that's static and a method that allows you to get that instance. There are other particularities. You have to make sure that no other client can actually instantiate your singleton. How do we do that? Usually by making the constructor private and access it just from inside the singleton class. Let's get into the implementation. I have created a new project, and here we have to create our first class. I would like to start with our singleton instance, which is the shovel. Enter, and now. And now we should create a private instance of the shovel class. So private static shovel instance. So now we need the constructor that will be private, so it won't be accessible from outside the class shovel. That's it. And the get instance method. Now the instance is not instantiated and will be null if somebody is trying to use this method. So what do we have to do? We will have to verify first if the instance is null. If instance equals null, then instance will get new shovel. This is called lazy initialization because you won't instantiate the shovel until you really need it. Now we are returning the instance, and this is the object that we will work with. We will also need to create a class called person. We will use this class to instantiate our family members. Enter, And here we will have just a private string, let's say type, so we can differentiate between our family members. And the constructor person, public person, string type, this dot type equals type. Now I would like in this class to have the method work with the shovel. So let's do that. Public void work with the shovel. And here we will call the use shovel method from the shovel class. Let's print out something trying to get the shovel. And let's have also the type here so we know who tries to use it. This dot type is trying to get the shovel. Shovel equals shovel dot get instance. Imagine you do not use the get instance method in your program. That means you won't have anything assigned to instance, so that's why it's called lazy initialization. Now let's get into the shovel class and have the use shovel method. Public void use shovel. We will get as parameter the user, and here we will just print into the console user plus is using the shovel. Let's get back to the person class, and here we will just call shovel dot use shovel of type. And that's it. Let's create our main to really prove the point. So main let's have the main function, and now we will have to instantiate the family members. So person daughter equals new person of daughter, person son equals new person of son, person father equals new person of father, person mother equals new person of mother. And now we have the grandma and the grandpa to instantiate. Person grandma equals new person grandma, person grandpa equals new person of grandpa. And now let's call our method to see what happens. So daughter work with the shovel, son dot work with the shovel, father dot work with the shovel, mother dot work with the shovel, grandma dot work with the shovel, and grandpa dot work with the shovel. Let's run the program and see what happens. Here we go. Let's read a bit the output. Daughter is trying to get the shovel. Daughter is using the shovel. The shovel is used in the order of the calling. So nothing complicated here. And that's it for the singleton design pattern. It's a pretty simple one. Let's recap a bit. You have, in our example, 6 family members that are trying to get the shovel for gardening. And they have only one, and they will wait for their turn to get it. In the real world, it may be something else like a connection to a database, a connection to another external system that should not be duplicated. That's it for this lesson. Thank you.